The Sopranos follows New Jersey mob boss Tony Soprano as he attempts to juggle his family life and crime life, trying to keep both functioning properly and keeping dysentery in the ranks to a minimum. Tony is surrounded by volatile characters such as his uncle Junior, who at one point tries to kill Tony to gain and maintain control of the Sopranos family. There's also his depressed and selfish son Anthony Jr., who doesn't have the makings of a varsity killer, so he opts to try and kill himself and fails. Tony's nephew Christopher Moltisanti is Tony's protege in the mob, the man who he molds into becoming his successor and right-hand man. However, given his drug addiction and constant cock-ups, Christopher is ultimately a disappointment who fails to live up to Tony's high expectations, in spite of numerous repeated chances to prove himself. One of Chris's few redeeming qualities is his girlfriend Adriana. She's a knockout, a 10. And she does right by Christopher in spite of him constantly beating her up throughout the show. Over the course of The Sopranos' 6 seasons, Tony becomes more narcissistic, more toxic. His behaviour becomes more depraved, his conscience, over time, eroding. Perhaps his most degenerate trait is his habit for extramarital affairs, something his wife is aware of but turns a blind eye to so long as it does not arrive at her doorstep. Tony sleeps with numerous girls, from gourmands to strippers at the club, even with a one-legged woman at one point. Tony's womanizing antics reaches its zenith in regards to his immorality, when in the episode Irregular Around the Margins of Season 5, he makes a play at the girlfriend of his own nephew. To be fair, the sentiment between him and Adriana is mutual. Christopher is sent out of town on a cigarette smuggling job, and back in Jersey, Tony and Adriana spend time together and bond over recent issues they've had, and they do a bit of coke together. There is a moment of heightened sexual tension between the two, and it very much appears that something funky is about to go down, until the Shah of Iran makes a sudden visit. Tony later talks about Adriana to his therapist Melfi. And of course, later in the episode, Tony and Adriana drive to Dover to get more coke from a drug dealer, with it being heavily implied that the coke will not be the only thing the two will be doing together. After Tony crashes the car and the duo are hospitalized, a series of Chinese whispers ensues in the DeMeo crew about Tony and Adriana getting jiggy with it in the car, which reaches the ears of Christopher. This episode is full of various emotions from the characters. Adriana's need for a strong man, for example, in a time where she feels vulnerable and alone, given her situation with the feds and the fact that her man isn't around. And there's Christopher's feelings of embarrassment, betrayal and emasculation. Tony also has feelings he wants to talk about, as he brings up with Melfi, and there's a line in the therapy session which, at face value, might seem like just a number of various different things that Tony says, thinking out loud, within the safe space of doctor-patient confidentiality. But if you ponder on it, it does make you wonder, wait, what? And it's when Tony is talking about Adriana mentioning to Melfi that nothing happened between the two, which she compliments as a big step, even though we know it was only Phil Leotardo arriving which stopped a scandal from taking place, and not Tony taking control of his impulses. In any case, he says, I mean, someone like her, I could do it right this time. I could start a whole new family. I'm young enough. Fuck 'em all. Hold up. Where on earth did that come from? Sure, Adriana is good looking and Tony goes after what he likes, but this line of dialogue suggests he's actually been fantasizing about running away with her, starting a new family, leaving his wife, leaving Christopher, leaving his kids. This is a pretty wild statement from Tony, and Melfi probes it further, asking if he's actually contemplating this, to which Tony replies, what? It'd be a disaster of major proportions. Carmela, I'd get hosed financially. There'd be no reasoning with her after that. He then says it would be bad for his nephew and Adriana herself, but he never brings up his children, or even saying a kind of cliche, oh no, I know we're separated, but I love my wife. No, he just brings up that Carmela would rinse him in a settlement. That's the first thing he brings up for not running away with Adriana. Money. It's such a bizarre thing for Tony to say, an off-colour remark, highly inappropriate, especially given that he himself brings up that Adriana clearly has some kind of father-daughter want, as her father ran off. As Melfi says, he'd be committing symbolic incest. We know he wants beautiful women. We know he even dominates Christopher by sleeping with his girlfriend in season 6 after Christopher's dead. We know the situation is perfect for a one-night stand with Adriana while Chris is out of town and no one will be any the wiser. And sure, his future with Carmela is at this point uncertain. But where has this idea come from him of wanting a long-term relationship with Ade? For him to reveal that he's actually been thinking about starting a new family with her, or at least fantasizing about it, is balmy and suggests he has a whole load of ideas about Adriana that we as the viewer aren't privy to. And it's not like Gloria or Irina where it's just another woman. We're talking about his nephew's woman here, someone he's known for years, someone in the inner circle. There would be major repercussions if he even had a fling with her, let alone run away with her. It's ironic also what with her of all the women in the show who he says this about, given she can't have kids. But then again, he knows about her not being able to have children, so in some regards, this fantasy was always just that, some kind of abstract, distant fantasy, maybe in another life kind of thing. But the way in which Tony comes out with it feels as though it's something he deeply wanted, to be away from everybody and everything around him and just have a life with Adriana. It seems he spent a considerable amount of time thinking about it and finally let his guard down enough to say it. You can imagine him saying, "What, are you serious? Are you crazy?" responding to Melfi's question about contemplating it. Or maybe even comparing Adriana to Carmela, saying he wished he'd married a girl like that instead. But his response, talking about how Carmela would hit him financially, suggests he's actually been thinking about it in tangible, real-world terms and contemplating on the repercussions. The idea that he'd be willing to abandon AG and Meadow at the drop of a hat and do to them what Adriana's dad did to her is sinister and scary. And really, this could be considered one of Tony's darkest moments in the show, a glimpse into how truly stunning his level of selfishness and narcissism is. To be honest though, I'm probably overthinking it. We all have crazy fantasies in our head which we know are not at all possible in real life, and really, this is probably just an example of one of Tony's. In fact, it may have even been a performance, a showcase to Melfi to pump up his own ego by suggesting he has the ability to walk away from his family with a young, hot woman and living out the remainder of his days stress-free, but here he is instead, resisting temptation and fighting the good fight. It's actually a fine example of the research Melfi reads in Season 6, about the psychotherapy making criminals worse as they sharpen their skills as con men on their therapists. Tony's bamboozled Melfi in this scene, with her thinking he's made progress when a catching, not pitching session between Tony and Adriana was stopped by chance, not by his self-control. And he takes the bravado of the situation further, with the delusional suggestion that he could actually run away with the girl, but he doesn't, and look how much of a stud and a great man he is for it. I mean, we haven't even discussed Adriana herself. It was implied her intentions at the club were actually to get close to Tony for more information. Yes, there's a combination of complex feelings that were drawing her to him. After all, his body is mad ripe. But there's an added layer of irony with the fact that Ade is primarily trying to get close to Tony for the feds, not because she's creaming for him. I don't think the idea of running away with Tony would have ever entered her head. Least of all because she genuinely loves Christopher. In fact, she's willing to use Tony for the feds so that Chris and her can go into the witness protection program and, in Tony's words, do it right this time. So, I hope you guys found this discussion interesting about a particular line from Tony which was pretty weird and out of the blue. What do you think about this line? Do you think there are stranger things Tony has said? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Before we finish, I just want to thank my patrons, Andre Millington and Nicholas Curtis, and also my channel members, the new Ongoam24, Rikers, and Michael Awatwi.